Hey everybody, it's your girl Pajama with our review of the movie Sinners and season 2 of Andor. Let's go.
Careful, boy. You gonna bite off more than you can chew.
One day he's gonna follow you home.
Hey there. We heard tale of a party.
You did?
You wouldn't mind us coming in now, would you? We just came here to play. Here, I'll show you.
Pick poor out and clean.
This world already left you for dead. I can save you from your fate.
You don't need no saving.
Yes, you do. I am your way out. Don't cry. It's all better now.
Yes, I lied to you.
We gonna kill every last one of you.
Oh boy, it's a vampire extravaganza in Pajama Life, and I'm with my friends here. These two guys. Or maybe it should be like a cross. David, say hey to the people.
Hey, everybody. Great to be with you tonight. It's been a kind of a cool, cloudy day in our nation's capital, but we're watching some films where the sun is hot, the action is hotter. Let's see what we're going to be talking about today.
All right. And my best buddy, this guy, Patrick, say hey to the people.
Hey, everybody. Can't wait to talk to you about these interesting new additions to individual lores, either the vampire lore or the lore of Star Wars. So can't wait to talk about them.
All right. Sinners. David, what did you think?
Oh, my goodness. You don't see too many films today that are even set in that time period, in that part of the country. So, I mean, this film stood out in 1,000 different ways. And for a vampire film where you think it's cliche and repetitive, they've taken it to a different level. Tremendous script, shocking, great acting, certainly bloody if you want that. This is something we haven't seen before. It is surpassing what anyone would have expected from it at the box office, but word of mouth, people are loving this movie.
Yeah.
And I see why they're taking a bite out of it, that they're getting their teeth into this because
Lord.
it's delicious. We've got the puns for you, baby. Puns,
my God.
puns. This vampire flick is fantastic. Really a well done film, and a total surprise that it was this good. I thought it would be gory, but I didn't. Maybe some fun, but man, it was a really well done movie. I applaud everybody who helped create this.
Yeah. Pat, what'd you think?
I found it a very interesting addition to the vampire lore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was really, it had some of the rules of vampires. You can't come in unless you're invited, and all that kind of stuff. There was that was a wonderful way to kind of segregate, for lack of a better word, the action. You had this. If you went outside, you're gonna die. There was a lot of cool stuff. And it was really well done. And the idea, and again, Michael B. Jordan really, really outkicked his coverage on this. He was definitely stand out. Everybody in this was really well cast. Nice, easily to hate villains, even the people that, weren't villains at the start. And then you get this kind of going. It was full of surprises, full of turns. It was really well done. I enjoyed it. I generally don't like the horror movies because usually they tend to be really formulaic, where you have, oh, okay, this has got to happen because this is going to happen. And then we have to leave a big opening at the end, which they kind of did, but to make sequels in case we make a lot of money, and stuff. And there were certain things in it that were a little bit towards that, but most of the action, most of the storyline, totally outside the realms of the normal lore. So I enjoyed it.
And this is something, since you guys already talked about that part, I want to talk about the Black history moments in there that this very much spoke to Black spirituality and some of the Black spiritual traditions that aren't talked about a lot. When they talk about haints, our grandparents talked about that, and the spirits and the difference between haints and vampires but if you looked at it, it talked about several different religions in it as well. You had the kind of voodoo, then you had an Irish kind of look at it, then you had in that sequence, then you saw the Asian influence in there, you saw Native American traditions in there, and so you got to also get a glimpse of different spiritual traditions in a vampire, milieu. I mean, that was something I was like, hold on. And talking about music, Pat and I are both musicians, or at least former musicians, and talking about the power of music to change and how it can also, the beauty and the purity of music can also attract evil because of how beautiful it is, and how evil is also attracted to beauty, mostly to defile it. If you listen to vampire lore, the vampire goes after the virgin because she's pure, and the vampire went after that person who had the music because it was pure and it called to them. So it's an awakening things from the spirit realm is a part of Black tradition. That's why you don't see a lot of us in horror movies, because when it goes down, we ain't sticking around for it. Or we ain't opening up them doors. So that was really great to see. And it also harkened back to Black Panther when he brought in the different African cultures that hadn't been exposed. So Ryan Coogler is down for the brothers and the sisters and his movies, but his movies have such wide appeal because they are so well written. And to merge these stories, because it also talks about the discrimination between and given to Black people, Asian people, Irish people, when they first came to this country. So it covered some of that as well in a very slick way. And I hope if you go to see it, do not get up out of your seat until its screen goes dark, because there are a couple of what do you call those? Like Marvel has. He learned that from Marvel. Like little scenes at the end. There's 2 of them.
Post-credit teasers.
Post-credit,
Yeah.
And man, one of them, I want to talk about it because the person who shows up is legendary. If you know the music, it's a legendary person in there that's incredible. So definitely, I think we all can agree. Check out Sinners.
Oh, yeah.
Go right now. Go see it after our show. All right. Next up, we've been waiting, 2 years?
2.5.
2.5 years. And it's finally here. Check out Andor Season 2.
It's prep for a test flight in the morning. The password tonight is Kafrine.
Kafrine, the Empire cannot win.
Okay, I got this.
Colleagues, superiors, if they're not in this room, they're not cleared for the project.
Now, you have a plan already. You had it before they finished speaking. I want your assessment.
Propaganda will only get you so far. You need a radical insurgency you can count on.
David, talk about what you thought of the second season drop of Andor.
I could not wait to see this, and while I would have preferred not to have had to wait for 2.5 years, and while I would like to see that there would be more seasons than just season two, this is what a Star Wars fan dreams of.
Yeah.
This, if you've watched the show and you've not a Star Wars show, and it's like, man, I don't like the dialogue, man, I don't like it, looks cheap, man, I'm not happy with this direction. Stop and watch this. This was incredible. And it is also, I think appropriately so, we could say this. It is also an instruction manual on how to overthrow an authoritarian regime, which may or may not be something that you want to be a part of here in the coming days, weeks, years in the future. So take notes. It's not just something fun to watch. You might need to learn how to do this. So I loved it. This was incredible. It was a movie. We're going to get 4 different, basically movie quality shows each week. And these 3 seasons, or these 3 episodes, were just great. There's so much there. I look forward to hearing what other people think, but you got to watch it. All the characters are great. And man, this truly speaks to the authoritarianism that one would have felt in the Empire and the scene. We could talk about so many things. I want to say this. Tony Gilroy took this story and he took little pieces from a lot of revolutions and a lot of pieces of history.
Mm-hmm.
But in the middle of this show, in these episodes, we had basically a reinterpretation of the wonderful, well done film, a horrible moment in history, of the film entitled Conspiracy with Kenneth Branagh and Stanley Tucci, among others. Where you've got the Nazis who are in a very methodical, very detailed way, kind of talking about the final solution. And here, with a particular planet that is needed for its natural resources, you're having that same conversation with pastries, with desserts, with a meal, just like in that conspiracy film. It really echoes that. Man, I love this show. Tony Gilroy has just taken Star Wars up another level. Andor is going to be right up there. Who would have known? Andor is up there, I think, in all honesty, for me, with the original trilogy. I wouldn't have thought that. I mean, it's right there. It's right there in terms of the quality and the passion. This is going to be a special few weeks. So, man, enjoy it and savor it, and take some copious notes on how to start your own revolution against an authoritarian regime.
I didn't like it.
Oh!
No, I'm just kidding. I loved it.
Okay.
Oh man, this was, and at first I was kind of like, because I wasn't feeling well when it came out, so I kind of missed the second and third episode. I kind of saw them, but I wasn't feeling great, so I was like, well, let me go back. Man, I'm telling you what, that Tony Gilroy is something else, because he took a story that nobody would have thought you could have a prequel to, and has turned it into a marquee property of Star Wars now. I mean, it's so layered and so in-depth and interesting. And there's like 3 distinct storylines, but you're not confused or overwhelmed with it because of the direction too. And so it's easy to follow through. I think the only part I didn't think was needed was when Cassian was on that planet with those goofy rebels. And I was like, yeah, you could have done that. But it was a nice little kind of filler kind of thing. But the underlying messages are so interesting if you look at it. And that's why we needed a couple of years, because now you can talk about things in a show like this in a way that's far, far away. So, but the lessons and the meanings and the underlying things that are going on, people need to pay close attention and, think seriously about what it means, even though it's set in a space environment. People are doing similar things. So, it really is great storytelling. It looks great.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you what, anytime Catherine Hunter comes on the scene as the guy's mother, oh, she just turns it out. She just completely needs to be arrested for robbery because she stole that whole scene every time she was in it. I was like, oh. But
Yeah.
the woman playing Dedra, man, I love when her and her boss get together and talk, and he's from the Game of Thrones.
Yes.
What was his name? He was the mad scientist dude of Cersei. And those conversations are so great. And I just enjoy so much seeing Cassian's growth too, and seeing how he's becoming the real leader he needs to. And Stellan Skarsgård, come on now.
Yeah.
That man is cold. I mean, cold-blooded. When he switches from the, effete art dealer who's very, effervescent and, very light-hearted. And then in the next instance, he'll be the rebel leader who has to make, sacrifices and has to do the worst things so that people can live on. And that mask he can put on and off is just fantastic.
Yeah.
So, wow. I don't even know how they can keep up this much greatness every week, but I'm mad that it's only 4 weeks and I wanted it to be 12 weeks to get episodes. So definitely for me, it's a home run out the park. What you thinking, Pat?
It is always an interesting thing for me to see Star Wars without Jedi, and I like that because even by the movies and missions, the Jedi are a small peacekeeping force. They're policemen. They're not an army. But here you've got no Jedi, which is great because this rebellion was a ton of dudes and a couple Jedi.
Women. Let's not say just dudes. Women.
Well, I mean, that was a generic non-gender specific dude. Okay,
like a Lebowski dude. It was the duders.
El Duderino,
the
God. Dude, So, but I'm just, it's good to see, normal people participating in the revolution, the rebellion. You see that going on, and the interesting interplay between the two gangs on the planet, which you didn't like that much, Pam. I did like that. That was interesting to see how they're all trying to just cut each other. We ain't worried about it. We're all out for ourselves, and how the one guy who wasn't really that guy was able to get himself out. Because he was the one who knew how to fly that plane, that TIE fighter ish, whatever. But he went around. He figured it out pretty quick and put it to good use. So really wonderfully done. Again, it's interesting to see things that are not Jedi adjacent, and I do enjoy that because most of the universe that in this Star Wars universe are not Jedi, and so much of the lore, the canon that we've seen in movies and TV shows, for that matter, has been about the Jedi. Yes, they are super interesting. They had a laser sword. I get it. But let's see some of these other dudes. There's people just out there farming and running, trying to do the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs and what have you. They're just people, and I'm cool to see that. That's interesting to me too. So I did enjoy this. I can't wait to see the next bits.
I know, and we'll be watching, and hope you are too. Because man, each week we're gonna talk about Andor and really dig into it as much as we can. Yeah. So definitely come back and check us out. Well, that does it for us this week. Pat, say goodnight to the people.
Good night, everybody. Take it easy. Be safe.
All right, David, say goodbye to the people.
Everybody, thanks for joining us tonight. I hope you're enjoying Andor. If you haven't seen it before, give it a chance. It is fantastic. And for all of you out there looking to see what they can do to make the world a better place, aim to misbehave.
Yay. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.